Everyone, Suba, Udasenak Wewa. So yesterday we had a very good session. We talked about in a couple of sessions, the importance of the Indian Ocean, the reintegration process that was underway between East Africa, South Asia, East Asia, and the Middle East. We talked about the importance of the sea lines of communications, that the Indian Ocean was the economic lifeline of the world, that some of the most strategic choke points in the world, Malacca, Hormuz, Bab el-Mandeb, the Sunda, the Lombok, are all in the Indian Ocean. We talked about what a disruption to the flow of commerce and shipping would cause to the global commons and to the world economy. We talked about climate change, natural disasters, extreme weather events, and the fact that these will be more frequent. We talked about both traditional and non-traditional maritime security threats. We talked about the importance of maritime domain awareness. We talked about the importance of the blue economy, sustainable development goals, something I'm very interested in, and in fact, there's a time now where we need to green the blue economy, and we have a distinguished presenter to talk about that. I talked about yesterday in my speech that this was a big ocean and that we all needed to work together, that no country was too big, that they couldn't use help, and no country was too small, that they could not make a valuable contribution. We talked a little bit about overfishing and resource depletion. And if you think of the ocean as a system, what would happen to this system if some of these events were to occur? So with today's presentation and this panel, first, I'd like to say that I spoke to the young students this morning. I really enjoyed shaking your hand and getting a chance to talk to the young students. That's you are the future generation. The importance of this conference is mainly for you. The future belongs to you. So I would appreciate if we could maybe get some questions this morning from the younger generation. I saw yesterday, my only disappointment was we had a lot of us old people speaking and not the young generation. So with that, we're going to go right into the speakers and start our presentations. I would ask that we just keep it to the 10 minutes that has been allotted for each speaker, so that then we can have the interactive process of the question and answer. It's my pleasure to introduce the first speaker. He's talking on the changing dynamics in the Indian Ocean, the geostrategic competition and challenges for Sri Lanka. Our first guest speaker is Admiral Dr. Jayanath Columbage, who is the former chief of the Sri Lankan Navy with 37 years of experience in the Navy and retired as a 4-star. I personally call him a friend. I have a deep respect and admiration for him. I first met him here 2 years ago, and I was very impressed with both his seamanship knowledge and tactical warfighting skills, but also his worldview. So I call him a friend. When he came to the Pentagon, when I was in my last job, I made sure that we had a very good and weighty discussion in my office, and I've really relied on his advice over the last couple of years on matters relating to Sri Lanka. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to our first speaker, Dr. Columbage.